Greetings, Judah. DFG, Gideon's Flight. Hey guys, we need to talk. I want to share with you something that I believe that Yah has placed on my heart that could really help us, help you, help me, help our people. And that particular thing is the power of our words in comparison to the power of our actions. In other words, saying the right thing with my words, not even the right thing with my words, speaking the truth, but believing the lie. In other words, self-deceiving. And the story that comes to my mind, let me to bring some clarity around this for you. I think of the story of Sarah and Abraham. Sarah, went as far as to call Abraham her master. And that's rightly so. Her covering, her man, is her master. Otherwise, he shouldn't be there. Any man that cannot master his house and his household is a man who's not qualified to have a house or a household. So the word master was appropriate. And this Sarah, when she was told that Yah would bless her, with Abraham's seed, and that seed would be the father of many nations, she questioned it. And then when she was questioned about it, of course, she denied it and said, no, that's not what I said. And they said, nah, you're a liar. You a liar. It is what you said. But see, because she said it under her breath, so she assumed nobody heard it, or she thought it. See, publicly she was saying one thing, but in her heart she was believing something totally different. And that's the struggle that so many of us are dealing with today. The book says, it calls it wavering minded, going back and forth. James said it even better. Our brother James, who in his epistle letter to the church, to Israel, he told him that a wavering man is unstable in all of his ways, and that man think he will have anything of Yah. In other words, he said Yah's not going to be able to walk with this man because today is one thing, tomorrow is something else. Today is one thing, and tomorrow is something else. Constantly, questioning Elohim. Yah is giving you a testimony, and you're treating it like it's a test. Well, it's a test, so I don't know, I don't want to fail the test. I don't want to fail the test, so therefore, I'm going to be very careful. I'm going to be very cautious. Well, you're not going to get anything of Elohim. How can you understand the power of Elohim without a testimony? Many of you are sitting around afraid that you're going to fail some test. Attributing, I don't want to make the wrong decision. In other words, giving, honor and glory to Satan because he's the doubt caster. He's the one to tell you don't trust, don't believe. And there's Elohim on the other side of saying, without faith it's impossible to see my glory in your life. And for sure you'll never please me. And see, this is the story of so many of you all. Again, your mouth says one thing, but your action says something totally contrary to what your mouth is saying. And in your state of unbelief, you, more times than not, are blaming Elohim for the blessings you don't receive and glorifying wickedness, the rulers of this world, for the things that have manifested themselves in your life. You're calling it into existence with your unbelief. And yet there's Elohim saying there, if you have the faith of a mustard seed. If you ever saw a mustard seed, that thing is about that big. Can you see that? About that big. He says, if you had the faith of a mustard seed, I'm just gonna clean it up for you. You could do anything. Anything in the will of Elohim. Let's be straight here. God's not going to bless you with no evil. He don't bless you with no wickedness. He don't bless you with stealing somebody's man or stealing somebody's home or stealing someone's money or manipulating somebody out of something. That's Satan. The thief come to steal, kill, and destroy. And I have to be clear, because some of your devils out there are getting over on people and then claiming to be blessed. Some of you devils out there who are being manipulative and then claiming you're being blessed and trying to give that glory, trying to bring your filthy, unrighteousness before Yah. And he's going to burn that shit up. And he's going to burn your ass up with it too, I might add. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about clean thinking, clean living, clean faith, trusting, believing that all things are possible if Elohim is with you. And understanding that when your mouth says one thing and your action does something else, you're cursing yourself. Let me give you even more clarity. And we're going to stay with Abraham and Sarah. Now, Sarah understood clearly that there was a promise made to Abraham through Isaac. That's where the bloodline would come from. That would be our bloodline. The richest people on the planet, although in the natural sense, we appear to be the poorest. But Yah said we are rich. And be honest with you, at the risk sometimes of and I don't mean this in a vain way. So hear me this, sisters and brothers. I don't mean to be vain when I say that. But you tell me, look at this man. You don't see rich? And I'm not talking about materialism. We're not getting into my age again, but trust me, guys. My point is, that's the richness he talks. Look at the beauty of the people. And when we trust Yah, the intellect of the people, the creativity of the people. How that we can endure and suffer anything. We can endure and suffer things that any other people would have long been genocided out of existence, like many of them have been. But let's continue on into this message. Let's continue on into this story. So here it is. Yah has made a promise to Sarah and Abraham. And in that promise, that the whole nation will be blessed. And so Abraham, somewhere down the journey, he goes and hears a voice from Elohim that says, it's time for you to prove something to yourself. And Abraham understood this. You might say, well, what's that thing? He said, it's time for you to prove something. Abraham, you need a testimony. So here's what we're going to do. I want you to take Isaac and I want you to kill him for me. Kill him for me. In other words, just like you would normally, how you offer your sacrifices annually, Abraham, with the sheep. I want you to take and I want you to make Isaac the sacrifice this time. I want you to kill him. Abraham, okay, no problem. You got it. So as he goes to take Isaac from Sarah to go and to kill him, Sarah doesn't feel comfortable about this situation because she's like, well, where does this come from all of a sudden? Now, she doesn't know he's going to kill the boy. Well, now he's a young man. She doesn't realize this, but that mother instinct. You know how you mothers are. You when something's happening to your children, instinctively you know it. So that's why you are a nurturer. That's why you're the first teacher of the children. That's why you should love your role in as Yah has placed you. Even though many of you don't have that instinct anymore because you're so consumed with trying to supplant your man, that you've lost your place in line. See, your place in line is second to that man, which is a high place to be in the kingdom of Yah. But now most of you, because of your own arrogance, your own stiff-heartedness, you're falling. Not only have you fallen from your second place in the line, you're not even in the line anymore. But here's Sarah. That mother instinct in us telling us something ain't quite right about this. Here's Abraham over there saying, I'm just taking him over to Shem. And because Shem is the high priest. And I just want Shem to bless him. I want Shem to anoint his head with oil so that he may draw closer to Elohim. This is what he told Sarah. And so he left, him and Abraham. Him and Isaac. And while they're on their journey, Isaac's brother, Ishmael, goes to Isaac and say, hey, by the way, Dad gonna kill you. And Isaac looks over at him like, what? He said, Dad gonna kill you. Just want you to know, Dad gonna kill you. And Isaac looks at him and said, well, praise Elohim. You mean to tell me that I'm going to be offered as a sacrifice to the Most High? Now, see, here it is, Ishmael over there, think he's speaking evil on his brother. He think that Isaac is just somehow now going to poop his pants and, oh, no, let me go back home. Oh, really? I'll go run over there. Oh, Dad, you going to kill me, Dad? Ishmael said you're going to kill me. No, he just told Ishmael, he said, praise Yah. Praise Yah. He said, man, that's the ultimate sacrifice. That's the ultimate blessing. So now Ishmael, of course, he's a little bit confused. You see, when you know and understand that no weapon formed against you is going to prosper, you will confuse your enemy. See, when your enemy come at you with doubt and you tell them there's no doubt here, I believe. I don't care what you say. You call it a test, I call it a testimony. You see, when you're taking that stance, when your naysayers come, these people who try to get you to question and doubt, what Yah has for you. See, when you take that stance and say, I don't care what you say, I still trust Elohim. Man, you throw them in confusion. They don't know what to do next. But at the same time, when you listen to them, you go into confusion and you don't know what to do next. Then you start leaning to your own understanding and then shit hits the fan. Instead of you trusting and believing, as Isaac did. So, of course, that shut down Ishmael. So Ishmael, okay, shit. I ain't lying to this idiot. He ain't listening to me. I guess he'll find out the hard way. But Isaac was being honest. He said, hey, I don't have a problem with this. But see, you think, okay, now the story should stop there. It doesn't stop there. It goes on. Satan manifests himself as a stranger on the road. And he tells Isaac the same thing. Your father's about to kill you. Again, Isaac said, man, get thee behind me, Satan. I don't care about nothing like that. Because see, that's how the enemy will come. He will constantly plant seeds of doubt in your mind, sisters, brothers. Constantly coming. And many times, most of you guys, instead of you just saying, I don't care, I'm going to keep focused. What you do, you start hesitating. You start questioning. You start, you must be doing. You are. It's time to stop that. See, DFG going to be pleasant this morning. Praise you. I wanted to call you something else. Not vulgar. I wasn't going to use vulgarity. I was just going to call you an idiot. But I'm not doing that this morning. So, so there is Isaac saying, that ain't going to work, Satan. You can, yeah, I don't care. I don't care. I know who I am. I know who Elohim is to me. I know he's got me covered, front, back, up, down. I know no weapon formed against me is going to prosper. And quite frankly, giving my life for Elohim is not a threat to me. It is my ultimate blessing. For me to die is gain, as Paul said. Okay? How many of you can say that? To die for the faith is gain. Most of you won't even submit yourself to your men. Most of you would not even submit yourself to the book, to the law, statutes, and commandments. So surely you're not thinking to die for Elohim is gain. Because you're too absorbed in self. It's all about me. It's always about me. My mouth going to tell you it isn't about me, but my behavior, unless you are blind, you should be able to see my behavior. Oh, it is all about me. After all, what's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to me if he does this? What's going to happen to me if he does that? What's going to happen to me if I don't get this? What's going to happen to me if I don't get that? Well, this is what's going to happen to you. because you're questioning Elohim. Sarah questioned Abraham. Isaac didn't. And you know, because she was questioning Abraham, that little mother instinct that told us something just wasn't quite right. So she started checking behind the man. Let me look and see what else is going on. Let me see what he's trying to hide from me. So you so-called women of Sarah, when you're taking that position, let me see what's going on. Let me be nosy. Let me check. I just want you to know, that's not an original idea. You're not being wise. You're being manipulated. Oh yeah, when you start doing that checking behind, you're being manipulated. See, that's the enemy of faith. It's coming in and now planting these seeds of doubt in your mind. And so now you're going to start pulling these levers now. Well, let me make this phone call. Let me take this trip. Let me, I don't know, whatever you do. You know what you do. You know what you do better than I could say it. See, that's what Sarah did. So Sarah started checking on things. I want to make sure. Can somebody go down there and see, did he go to Shem house or not? And so Satan sent, an old man over to Sarah. He said, no, he ain't go to Shem house, honey. See, Satan always going to give you, your validation of why you are about to be taken advantage of. See, he's always going to send that validation. Oh, you're going to say, no, that's Elohim. See, Elohim said, that's Elohim breaking it down. See, that's Elohim exposing it. You are a damn lie. You are a damn lie. Because see, when Elohim has a plan for a man, there's nothing Satan can do to get in the way of that. And his job, Satan's job, is to plant the seeds of doubt in all weak-minded people to have them questioning the behavior of a man of Elohim. Brothers, you need to hear this too. So there's Sarah listening to this old man who seems to be, very wise. And he's validating her suspicion. Ladies, you know how you pick up the phone and you call your best girlfriend or your old boyfriend or whoever it is, your mama. You know how, the one you call to get your validation. And they give, yeah, you right, yeah, you right. But you notice that things don't turn out so good when you do that? I'm going to say it to you again, sisters. Have you noticed things don't turn out too good when you do that? You've never even given it any thought. If you haven't given it any thought, have you? You're so caught up in that you were right or perceived that you were right that you never asked yourself the question. But what if this is something that I am not to know? Or what if this something, maybe it's something for me to know to grow my faith. Maybe there's a bigger plan that Yah has going on and I need to be quiet and not get in the way. Maybe this is going to be a blessing that I could never have understood, although I'm questioning his actions. But see, Sarah, like so many of you, nah. Now, here it is, she calling Abraham master. This my man. But as soon as this man has done something to cause her suspicion, all of a sudden now, she's questioning his actions. See, many of us do the same thing to Elohim. Elohim has a plan, but as soon as something don't go the way, that we think his plan should go, we start questioning him. In other words, we start knocking on Satan's door. Lucifer, are you aware? You say, I don't tap in on Lucifer. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Anything that is not of faith is sin. And who is the father of sin? Satan. So yes, you do. The minute you let doubt creep in, you start questioning the man of Yah, your master, then you are changing positions on him. You're betraying him. And that's exactly what Sarah started doing. Started asking all of these questions. And she started getting answers. As a matter of fact, Satan told her the truth. Satan told Sarah that yes, a man was cheating on her. Oh, my bad. I must have confused this story. What do you think? No, Satan told Sarah, yes, he is about to go and kill Isaac. And he was telling the truth. But see the difference between Sarah and Abraham? You see, Abraham trusted. He knew that, hey, Yah has already given me his word. He's already told me this is my son. And I know this. If Yah take him, he's going to give me something else. Even better. But not Sarah. Oh, no, he gave me this, and if anything happens to this, or anybody intrudes on this, somehow or another, oh no, I'm gonna destroy every goddamn thing. I know it ain't no, he messing up. No, this mine. It all belongs to me. It's for me. Come on, let's finish up this story. I know you're saying, okay, all right, DFG, what else? Well, guess what? When Abraham got ready to kill his son, after Ishmael tried to tell him he was going to get killed, Satan tried to tell him that, manifest itself as a young man, as an old man, even manifest itself as a body of water. In other words, brought additional troubles. I don't know, maybe caused the rent to get behind, maybe get your car possessed. I don't know, maybe, somebody stole your credit cards. See, all these things Satan will throw at you to get your mind off of Elohim, to get you to validate, not to trust. So he even threw a body of water out there to keep Sarah going, or to stop Abraham from going on with his mission. Now you say, but DFG, where you getting all this stuff from? I ain't read that in Genesis. Yeah, because it's not in Genesis, it's in Jasher. It's in the book of Jasher. Jasher. Well, that's not a real book. You better go read Joshua, and you better go read 2 Samuel then. Because Joshua referenced it and Samuel referenced it. The book of Jasher. They knew about it. Why you don't know about it? I know about it. Again, why you don't know about it? Because you refuse to study. I know you're too busy. You're too busy to study, but yet you're arrogant enough to think that you know the plan of Elohim for your life. Wow. Well, I know he wouldn't want me with somebody who's doing something behind my back. You're a damn lie. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Because yes, Abraham was doing something behind Sarah's back. 100% yes. And did he mislead her? 100% yes. Was his Yah plan for him to do exactly what he did? 100% yes. What should have been Sarah's role in that? Humble herself and just trust her man. And say, even though I don't see where this is going, I'm going to exercise the faith that I have in Elohim and in this man to see it through. But she refused to do it. And so guess what ended up happening? Let's get to the end of the story. Yes, Yah did replace the sacrifice. He didn't kill Isaac. He just wanted Abraham to have a testimony. You say, well, he wanted Abraham to prove his faithfulness to him. No. All tests is not about proving something to Yah, my friends. Most tests is about proving something to you. So that you can see the strength of what faith looks like and the power of your belief, if you believe. Did not the book tell us that if thou believe, all things are possible to him that believeth? All things are possible? See, this thing that this whole killing of Isaac wasn't about Elohim. It wasn't Elohim tempting Abraham. Our book tells us that Yah does not tempt man with evil. He can't be tempted with evil, nor will he tempt any man with evil. It's Satan who is tempting you. It is Satan who put these plant these seeds of doubt in your mind. Brothers and sisters, it's Satan. Every single time. Every time you have doubt, just all you have to do is step back and say, man, Satan got me. I'm walking side by side with Satan right now. That's why I have all this doubt. That's why I have all this unbelief. That's why I have all this anxiety and worry that something bad's going to happen to me, something bad about to happen. I'm going to lose this guy, lose this woman. Just remember, you and Satan are walking hand in hand. Y'all lovers. You and Satan have become lovers every time you do it. But see, when you stand up and say, I know weapon formed against me is going to prosper, then guess what? You're walking hand in hand with the real lover, Elohim. See, Abraham took that journey. He took that walk. He said, you know what? If he take him, he take him. I was 100 years old when this boy was born, and hell, I waited 100 years to have a seed through Sarah. I mean, he had Ishmael about 13 years before. So it took Abraham to be almost 87 years old before he even had a child. Now, don't you think that if he got a child at that age, he would do everything in his power to protect it? Because he would feel like, man, look how blessed I am. I had to wait 87 years to have a child. Then he had two. But one would be the blessing of many, many nations. The other one would be blessed, but he would not have the blessings of the second son, Isaac. And so this son is the son you would have thought that he would have said, no. I don't care about what anybody say. I don't care about what you say, Elohim. If it means I got to, do something that makes me feel uncomfortable, or do something that, that could set me back, I ain't doing it. No, he said, if that's what you say, you gave him to me. So if you take him, I'm sure you're going to replace him. But now let's go back over to say, see, that's the faith. That's real faith. Our book tells us that Abraham, was a friend of Elohim. Why do you think he's a friend? Because a friend stick it closer than a brother. See, Abraham trusted Elohim so much, he knew that, hey, if he takes Isaac, he going to give me something back. Don't you know, sisters out here, brothers out here, if Yah takes something that you cherish more than anything else, that he's going to replace it with something even better? But that doesn't mean that you rid yourself of it. Because see, that's what some of you are going to go, well, I'm just going to let it go. No, he didn't tell Sarah to let a damn thing go. And he didn't tell Abraham to let anything go. See, that's the lies of men. See, that's the lies we tell ourselves to justify wickedness. Well, even if y'all take it, I'll just get another. No, that's not the ways of Elohim. We're not supposed to be sitting around talking about, well, if y'all take it, then he must not want me to have it. He's going to give me another. That's bullshit. That's self-deception, which is the worst kind of deception. Your attitude should be, if it's Yah's will, so let it be done. And we'll see how it works out in the end. That's the right attitude. You never heard that. You can go all the way through both books, Genesis or Joshua, and you'll never hear Abraham make the statement that if Yah takes him, he's going to give me another one. He never says that. He just trusts. And he trusts him so much that he knows no weapon formed against him is going to prosper. So he's automatically, he's saying, okay, let your will be done. But I ain't getting in the way of it. See, many of you get in the way of it. You start making decisions. If y'all want him gone, then, he's going to be out of my life. But at the same time, you're doing what Sarah did. You're manipulating things. You're making your phone calls. You're checking your emails. You're checking your text messages. You're driving around the block. You're going over to the job. Whatever the hell you do. See, that's the wickedness that's going on in your head. And you say, well, why is that so wicked, DFG? It's wicked because you're not trusting Elohim and you profess to be a believer. That's why it's wickedness. If you didn't profess to be a believer, then, you could not be accused this way. Satan's house is not divided. So if you're not questioning Elohim, or you're not questioning, and you just going with it, you're just going with the flow, then okay, you with your father, Satan. But if you're professing to believe Elohim and trusting Elohim, why are you manipulating the situation? And you say, no, I'm not manipulating. I'm just checking. You're manipulating. And I just want to know for sure. You're manipulating. Well, you're a fool if you don't check. You're manipulating. And you're going to get the outcome you want, by the way. Because guess what happened to Sarah? Sarah got the outcome she wanted. She wanted her son to survive. And he did. So Satan came right back to her. Let me tell you the end of Sarah's story. Satan came back to her and said, oh, by the way, they did go to Shem. He didn't kill him. Although the seed was planted, don't trust him. And she believed it. I mean, she was worried. She was howling, crying, fighting, resisting, breaking up. Going get her, calling her old man, used to be man. Or pursuing her could-be man. Oh, yeah, she was doing all of that shit. Only to find out in the end that Yah had already had a plan in place for her situation. But she was so busy manipulating it by having a lack of faith, saying one thing, but doing something different. She couldn't see it. Abraham saw it all the way through. Because again, at the time of the sacrifice, Yah provided. He said, nah, we ain't taking Isaac out. I told you I had a promise for him. I just wanted you to be able to believe your own belief. I just wanted you to have another testimony. I wanted DFG to be talking about your story thousands and thousands of years later. How about that? To remind you and I the importance of faith and trust. Trusting in your covering. If you're a female, that's your man. And if you're male, trusting in Elohim. So Abraham, once the sacrifice was given, he took Isaac and brought him over to Shem. And Shem blessed him. But before they could get back to Sarah, Satan had came back over there and told her everything you thought was true. But he ain't kill him, though, I guess, But see, the damage had already been done. Because guess what happened to Sarah? That when she got the validation that all these things were happening because it was Yah's plan, she had a massive heart attack and died on the spot. Oh, you didn't know that. Why? She had a massive heart attack when she realized that all her worry was for nothing, that Yah had a plan that she didn't understand because she had no faith. And brothers, this applies to you too in your ways, in your walk. He had a massive heart attack. So by the time Abraham got back home with Isaac, instead of them having a celebration, they had a funeral. They buried her. That's the end of Sarah's story. She died because she did not trust. She was so busy manipulating and trying to control, never realizing that it was not in her hands and it was not Yah's plan for her. Her plan was to be obedient, and just wait upon Elohim and never question her man. But because she couldn't resist the devil, then Satan, he didn't get Isaac. Satan got the blood he wanted. He wanted a blood sacrifice. So he got his blood. He got it through the woman, Sarah. Oh, and by the way, Abraham just got him another wife and had many other children and kept it moving. So sisters, keep on with your manipulation, your sorcery. Walking hand in hand with Satan. Not trusting that if Yah put that man as your covering, and that man is walking and talking and teaching the words of Elohim, and you can see it in his life, there's evidence there. Because it's amazing that some of you say, well, anybody can say it. Yeah, anybody can say it, but is there evidence? Do you see evidence in his life? You say, what is evidence? Evidence. Okay. Now DFG is not going to be so polite to you. Look, you stupid idiot. Evidence simply means, do you see signs around this man that he loves Elohim? Do you see signs? If compared to a man who does not love Elohim, do you see a difference between that man and your man? If the man you with, when you bring up Elohim, he don't want to discuss it. If the man you with, you start talking about the Bible, he calls you religious. If the man you with, when you say pray, he pray about what? If that's your man, then you have no man of Elohim. There is no sign. But if that man, if you say praise him, let's go. You say let's teach, you see he's teaching. If you asking what he's doing, I'm studying. Studying what? I'm studying the word. Those are called signs, sisters. Those are signs. That's evidence. That's proof. Come on here. I shouldn't have to tell you that. But unfortunately for many of you, because you have your head stuck up your ass, I got to tell you that. So I told you that. So now get your head out your ass and start trusting Elohim through being obedient and believing in your man. I don't give a damn what signs, what thoughts Satan is putting in your mind about that man. Now you have to ask yourself the question. Do you want to live for Elohim or do you want to die in your own unbelief? That's a question you need to ask yourself. Because again, many of you out there saying, oh, I love him, I trust him, but you have no evidence because you have no testimony. And you have no testimony because you take everything as a test, and then when things go the way you made it go, because you started manipulating things, you started engaging in the things you should have never engaged in, and then when the shit goes awry, you say that's your testimony that you were right. You are a liar. You created that. Just like Sarah created her own misery. You're creating your own. Instead of trusting the man. And let me break this thing really down. For some of you little small-minded women who all you can think about is your man wanting another woman. Well, since you supposedly you believe in the book and you believe in the Bible and you see Sarah as being a blessed woman, the wife of Abraham. I don't never hear you saying anything negative about it. You see all these great things. Well, don't you know that Sarah gave her maid to Abraham to have sex with? That's how Ishmael came on the scene. Abraham didn't rape Hagar. Sarah put Hagar in his bed. And she had no damn problem with it at all. So you sisters of Sarah, what's really going on with you? What are you fearing? What are you really fearing? Have you ever even asked yourself that question? What are you really fearing? Because all of the women of Elohim, all of them, there's not one of them that got jealous over another female. Just so you know. Not one of them. There is no story. Then you talk about Abigail. Abigail was a righteous woman. Abigail was so righteous, she saved the whole nation, including her wicked-ass husband, Nabal. And when Nabal found out, like Sarah, that his own wicked selfishness had become a snare unto him, a trap or a judgment to him, he also had a stroke and a heart attack and died. How interesting. You got an example of a man, and you got the example of a woman. And when Nabal, wicked ass, died, and he was wicked because all he cared about was his own shit and what he had and what he could lose. He never even given any consideration to the man of Yah, David, who was out there protecting him. Protecting his run. All he could do is say, oh, I know that nigga on the run, and I know they're trying to kill his ass, and I don't know what make him think that I'm supposed to help him out. Isn't that so many of us? So many of you? All you can see is the negative. You can't see the positive. The positive was David had kept Nabal and all of his servants, all of his property safe by being out there. He came to the man and said, hey, look, can you give me some bread here? We're just struggling out here. And he goes, nah, it ain't my job to do nothing. Hey, I ain't got nothing for me and my family. The hell with you. That's the same way many of you are thinking about every damn thing you think about. It's always about you. You ain't sharing nothing. Now, let me tell you about righteous Abigail. Abigail protected her family. She brought to David exactly what David had requested. And David looked upon Abigail and said, you know something? You are a righteous woman. Oh, and by the way, she did give him some feedback and say, no, don't do this thing, man. Don't go and kill this idiot husband of mine. Don't kill him. Because then you're going to have that stink on you for the rest of your life. And you got greatness in you, David. So don't fall for that shit. See, y'all telling us that. Don't fall for the okie doke. Don't fall for your own self-doubt. Don't fall for your own greed, your selfishness. Don't fall for it, sisters. Let it go. I'm talking about your selfish, not your man. Because that's what, I'm going to let him, you dumbass. That's not what I said. Let your fear and your doubt go. But you hold on to the man if that's what who y'all put there for you. And you don't get caught up in his business. You look for evidence that he loves Elohim which means that he will be there when you need him for you. But you had, again, Sarah, who put the woman in his bed with no issue. She only got jealous when the children got involved in it. Talking about Sarah. That's all. Now, all of a sudden, she's mad at him. And Abraham saying, look, you created this shit. I don't want to hear it. So many of you sisters, you create the shit. And then when you throw the shit at your man, and your man tell you, I don't want to hear nothing you got to say, because you shouldn't have been checking my phone. You shouldn't have been checking my drawers. You shouldn't have been doing whatever it is you did. Now I don't want to hear your shit. Then you get in your feelings. Oh, you don't care about me. You are no good. No, you're the wicked one, because you were doing the manipulated, wicked, behind the door secret shit. He's not the wicked one. You're the wicked one. And by the way, if he is wicked, that's Yah's judgment. It ain't yours. That's Yah called to deal with him, not yours. Just so you know. But anyway, I'm not done with Abigail, just so you know. So here's Abigail. So, she was such a beautiful woman and had such the right attitude that David said, you know what, okay, thank you, appreciate it. Okay, you're right, I'm going on back. We ain't, no harm, no foul. Oh, but by the way, if you ever are available, please let the king know. All right? And she looked at him, winked, and said, okay, all right. You're like, okay, see you later with your fine self. And he went on. And when Nabal died, you know what Abigail did? She sent a message to the king. Hey, I'm available. King said, come on. Oh, and by the way, he had 16 other wives. But Abigail still went. You know why? Because Abigail understood to be covered by the king versus being out there by her damn self as a widow, shit was hell of a lot better. And see, some of you sisters, if you don't get out of that petty bullshit about your man shit, I'm telling you, that's where you're going to end up at. Let me give you a sad story. Then I'm going to finish this up with a better one. I remember some years back, I went to this, there was someone who was it was in hospice. They were in this nursing home. And they were about to die. And so me and a friend, we went to visit them, before they passed. But when we went into the nursing home, I noticed over in the day room, this is the room where they put everybody with the televisions and all this. They had a bunch of elderly people in wheelchairs. And they were all parked up, just like a big crowded parking lot up on, parked side by side each other. Some of them you could tell had paralysis and they were limped over in the chair. And some of them you could see that, but they were probably senile and just didn't even know where they were. And you had some of them just sitting there with that blank stare in their eyes like, how could this happen to me? Well, you know how it happened to some of them? Because of their arrogance. Well, if I can do all bad, I can do bad by myself. I don't need no man. If I can't have you all to myself, then I'll be, well, then your wicked ass going to be right over there where some of those people were. I'm not saying all of them ended there because of unrighteousness. I don't know their story. But I know Yah's story. And Yah's story says no weapon formed against us is supposed to prosper. Every tongue that comes up against us, he's going to judge it. So he said, I've never seen the righteous forsaken. So there's no damn way you would have ended up in somebody's nursing home in a goddamn chair slobbering with your head down and you blessed of Elohim. That's not the way it works. But somewhere in their journey, I guarantee you there was a lot of selfishness happening there. And so instead of them humbling themselves and saying, no, Yah, whatever your will is, then let your will be done. But no. Like so many of you, if I can't have you all to myself, I don't want you at all. I ain't sharing my man with nobody. What if Yah told you to do it? Oh, I already know what some of you are going to say. Well, I'll tell Yah to go to hell, kiss my ass. Oh, okay. I think he'll accommodate that. But for all of you who are in your right mind, just understand that whatever Yah's plan for you is, remember, it is a testimony if you see it through. Even the rough spots is a testimony if you see it through. We're not here talking about being somebody's fool. Again, if that man has no evidence of his walk with Elohim, you shouldn't be trusting him. You still shouldn't be manipulating and controlling and, and doing all kind of little sidebar wicked shit, conspiring against him. I mean, after all, you chose him. if he's not a man of Elohim, then, you don't have any commitment to him. Why don't you just go? But if he is a man of Elohim, then you better get into the book and understand clearly that your little jealousy don't line up with Yah's plan. And Yah don't get into no petty shit about, how many wives your husband has. I'm just telling you. You better go back to the book. Maybe your submission is your testimony. Maybe your submission is, your Isaac Abraham story. Or maybe your resistance is your Sarah story. But it ain't going to end well for you. I can tell you that. See, it's time for change. It's time to stop saying one thing in your mouth and doing something in your actions or in your heart. It's time for that to stop. It's time for that to stop. And sisters and brothers, I'm telling you, some of you are going to live a miserable end of life because you cannot get out of your own head playing God, G-O-D. Because you cannot get out of your head playing God. You say, well, what do you mean by that, DFG? Manipulating things. I need to know. Because I don't want nobody to take advantage of me. Take advantage of you. Can I ask you some questions then? That should be fair. So when you say take advantage of you, how much money you giving this man? Did you buy him a home? Did you give him a bunch of beautiful babies? What else? Are you supporting him financially? We need to understand this advantage that he is taking of you. Because surely you're doing everything. Because after all, how could he be taking advantage of you if you're not? Oh, with the exception of, he got me and that's all he deserves to have is me. Really? He got you and that's all he deserves to have is you. Can we discuss you now then? Can you tell us all the secrets about you that makes you so valuable that all he needs to have is you? Not what you're doing, not what you're creating for him, not the love that you give him that shows that you will accept him to come hell or high water, not the provision you're doing for him, not the caring you're doing for his children, not any of that, just you. And by God, he should be happy he got you because you are so damn perfect. Now, if you believe that lie, I want to enrich you. I haven't used this one in a little while. If you believe that lie you just told yourself, that to have you is the having of all having, it's the gift that never stops giving. And you're not giving him a damn thing outside of a hard time. But if that's you, I got some oceanfront property in Arizona that I'll sell you very cheap. And by the way, if you need a bridge, I'll throw the Golden Gate one in to you for free. In other words, that is truly a ridiculous possibility. And you're sitting there in your own misery that you created, just like Sarah. She created her own misery. Questioning the man, questioning Elohim. Why? Why they ain't back here? Why he ain't called me? Why he ain't answering his phone? Whatever it is you do. Who at his house? Does he love his baby mama? Does she love him? I don't know. Do your baby mama love you? Do you love him? Although y'all both supposed to have moved on? Again, some of you are like the dog going back to his own vomit and the pig going back to his own mud. You have never left the past, therefore you bring that garbage everywhere you go. It's like this big cloud of filth that follows you around. because you have no faith. Because to you, everything is about testing somebody. So therefore, you will never have a testimony. And I can assure you, Yah does not have an Abigail experience for you. You're not about to become the wife of a wealthy man who's going to become the wife of a king, one of the greatest kings that ever walked the earth, David. No. You're on your way to the cemetery. Because in your unbelief and you're questioning your man, questioning Yah, questioning his plan for your life inside of that man, where you should be decreasing as he increases if he's your man. No, you're on your way to the cemetery. You're on your way to rot. The stink of a dead corpse. That's where you're on your way to. So I'm going to bring this message to a close here. Praise Yah. It always seems short and it goes long, but I'm sure, if it applies, it applies. But this is what I'm going to say to you, sisters, and brothers too, because there's meeting this for you too. But sisters, I'm going to say this to you as well. We're in the last days now. Things are going to get really, really bad. These liars are telling you things are going to get better. It's going to go back to worse. I'm just going to trust Yah. Yah's not your husband, honey. Show me in the book where Yah said I'm the husband of a woman. When he used the bride, he's talking about the body. He's talking about the community of believers. He's really talking about the man. He said, man is the head of the woman, and I'm head of the man. Oh, you forgot about that, huh? So can I tell Yah what to do? Since Yah is the head of the man, I'm asking you a question. Can I tell Yah what to do? Now, he's my head. Can I tell him what to do? I think we all would agree, hell no. So what makes you think you can tell your man what to do? What makes you think you can question your man's actions for your life? The only thing that could cause you to do that is wickedness. And it's time now to reveal your wickedness. So hopefully you can rid yourself of it and be the woman that Elohim has called you to be for your man. Or you can be one of them folks that they're going to roll in the corner one day. Since you don't need no man, you can do it by yourself. I can do it. Or y'all going to send me a man. What if the man you got is the one he sent? So you just going to cash him out? And you think y'all going to give you another one when you didn't take care of the first one he gave you? That's not the way that works. That's not the way it works. How do you know the man you have is not the one Yah has given you with all the things that you may not agree with? Yah is not asking for your permission, sister. Nor did Abraham ask Sarah's permission to take Isaac to go kill him. He didn't ask her permission. And no, he wasn't transparent. Well, if he would have just told her no, he did not tell her, and he didn't have to tell her. She's not his master. He is her master. So he had no obligations to tell her anything other than, we'll be back. Thy will be done. Yeah, she should have said to him, okay, thy will be done, master. That would have made her a righteous woman. And she would have had long life, and she would have prospered in everything that Abraham prospered in. Oh, and by the way, Hagar, nothing happened to Hagar. Oh, and Ishmael did become a great nation. How interesting. So the tail became the head, and the head in her arrogance became the ass of the tail. That's what your arrogance is going to get you, sisters, if you don't check yourself at the door. And for you brothers, who want to live the life of a man of Elohim, but you don't want to give yourself to Elohim, Yah's going to judge your ass, and you're going to die 1,000 deaths. And this message is just a witness against your wicked ass. This ain't a message to stroke, I can have a bunch of women. See, again, you dumbasses, you miss the point every single time. This is not about that. This is about, what if Yah says to do it? Will you obey? And are you manipulating things because you feel like you're being tested when Yah said, stop manipulating, I'm trying to give you a testimony. What if? What if that is his plan for you, sisters? What if that's his plan for you? Righteous sister. Let me be clear here. You righteous sister, and I mean that. Righteous sister, good sister, good wife material, good helpmate material. What if it's Yah's plan for you, for him to do a thing that will make you feel insecure? What if that's his plan for you? Will you let that plan be? Or will you come up with your plan B? Will you let Yah's plan happen, let Yah's plan be, or will you come up with your plan B? I can do bad by myself. I'll just go get me somebody. Okay, run on out there. I suspect somewhere down the road, you're going to regret the day you ever made that stupid ass decision. But if you're a righteous sister, okay, and that righteous sister wouldn't do that, but I don't know, some of you sisters, again, you say you're righteous with your mouth, but your actions say something totally different, because you ain't going to make any sacrifices. You're not going to be obedient to Yah if that means doing something that you don't agree with, especially when it comes down to a man. Especially when it comes down to a man. But don't you know most of these sisters who were tossed out of their kingdom, Vashti got tossed out of her position as queen. Abigail got tossed out of her position as queen. Sarah got tossed out of her position as queen-like. And all of them because they were in rebellion to Yah based off of what he told them to do in regards to their men. Their men said something, they said no. Their men was doing something, they got involved in it and started manipulating or attempting to manipulate it. And Yah destroyed them. But then you got the Esthers who said, you know what? Whatever you say, I'm in. I'll do it. No problem here. All right? You're Elohim, not me. You got Bathsheba, who's coming back and said, remember the promise, David. Remember the promise. David said, yeah, baby, I remember the promise. You're right. I know you and I started off the wrong way, but you know what? You've been faithful. And Yah's been grateful. So yeah, Solomon gonna be king. So you got to decide who you're gonna be today. Are you gonna let your mouth write a check that your ass can't cash? Or are you gonna be a real value and say, whatever thy will is, Elohim, for my life, so be it. And thank you for my covering. Thank you for my king. Thank you for my master. You lead him and I'll follow. Even if I can't see clearly where he's taking us. I just know if you his lamp, we'll be all right. Amen? All right then. Praise Yah. DFG, get in flight. Talk to you guys later. Bye now.